Welcome back to NJBI is Minding Your Business. I'm Bob Considine. Well, we may not know how artificial intelligence works, but the folks at Prager Metis know that it can work for you and your business. In a recent chat with Prager Metis CEO Glenn Friedman and Chief Information Officer Joe Rust, both executives said AI is something that should be embraced by businesses in a world of emerging technology. Take a look. All right, Glenn and Joe, thank you so much for being here. Before we get into artificial intelligence, let's talk a little bit about Prager Metis. I'll let you take this, Glenn. What do you guys provide for your clients?
Well, we're a global advisory and accounting firm. We provide a whole host of advisory services as well as traditional accounting services, everything from international assistance to small business, privately held companies, public companies, various industries. Joe's out in LA, and we have a fairly large entertainment practice, but clearly we're here to talk about artificial intelligence, and that's an industry that's quite in the thick of it these days.
Right, so let's go right to it. AI, how is it finding its way into the business world, both of you?
I can start with that one. And I think what we're going to find is that AI is becoming more and more embedded in the software and tools that we use every day. You know, Microsoft currently has Copilot, which is embedded in their Microsoft Office 365. And so I think it's going to just become more and more commonplace to have some sort of integrated AI built into the software solutions we use every day.
I would agree with that. I think that from sort of the management standpoint, whether you think your staff and your team are using AI or not, they probably are. And therefore, the toothpaste is out of the tube. And right. You really need to embrace the technology and then put proper controls and factors into place so that people understand the rules of the road, that it can be used, when it should be used, how it should be used. Otherwise, you could wind up in a bad place.
Yeah, we're going to get to all that. But, you know, when we talk about AI, and I told you guys I'm not an expert on this at all, but, you know, I think some people naturally gravitate to, oh my goodness, AI is going to steal my job. I'm going to be worthless. AI is going to take my spouse out to dinner and leave me. How do you quell those fears for people?
I think you have to think of AI as a human-assisted tool. It assists humans, help them perform their capabilities, enhance the way that they can approach client services. It makes you more efficient, accurate. It takes a lot of the mind-numbing, soul-crushing tasks and handles those, and really leaves the human to do more human work.
Look, every technology or every advance leaves somebody behind, right? But I personally believe that it creates greater opportunity for most and an expansion in the economy. If you go back to, the Model T, or you look at orchestras that are no longer employed because there's technologies to replace them, I think that most industries have expanded. If you look at the amount of downloads in the music industry, you can't say that the music industry was harmed by technology. And believe me, everybody was afraid of all of those streaming devices, and the record industries were afraid of it. And, the horse and buggy are certainly gone. And I don't think that our economy retracted. If anything, it grew, and there were more opportunities for people. Will somebody lose a position? I think so. But I honestly, I've been thinking about this, and I think in today's environment, the jobs that'll probably be lost first are jobs that have already been lost. They've been outsourced to other countries, frankly, if we're all being honest about this. Whether it's the customer service provider or a bookkeeping service. So I do think that there, our jobs that will be lost, most will not be. I don't believe in this country at first. But I think you need to be prepared, and you need to retrain.
I want to read you guys some statistics that I pulled regarding artificial intelligence, kind of where it's been and where it's going. According to Forbes, 97% of business owners believe that ChatGPT will positively affect their business operations. According to Grand View Research, the AI market is already worth $136.5 billion, and the report also predicts a compound annual growth rate of 37.3% from now till 2030. And just one more data point, guys. Allied Market Research says 91% of leading organizations are investing in AI activities, and investments in AI in the social media market alone is expected to reach $12 billion by 2031. So given all this, I got to ask both you guys, where do you see AI going? And, is it possible for a business to not be a part of AI and actually compete?
Well, I could start with that in terms of our industry. Glenn mentioned a moment ago how involved we are in the entertainment industry and music in particular,
Right.
where I think it'd be almost impossible to do my job without AI. Back in the day, if you sold 1 million vinyl records, you had a platinum album on your hands. Today, just
Right.
have 1 million streams, you might be able to buy a nice bottle of wine. So what we find today is that we have billions and billions of streams by Spotify, Apple, Google, Napster. And can you imagine trying to trace billions of streams from a sales report to a royalty statement? I mean, our sun's going to go supernova in 5 billion years. I don't know how many of these jobs I'd be able to finish without using AI.
Look, I think that people don't even realize it, but it's here already, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your everyday life, you might not see what's behind some of the technology that is being used for you, around you, with you, but it's being used, whether it's 1 billion streams or, just accumulating data. Look at investments. I think investment complexity will grow, as has happened with the computer. I think that we'll see investments and the speed and velocity of investments that could be made that could never have been made if somebody was sitting there just trying to manually figure out a formula to make such an investment. So I think it has a positive impact on us. And again, I do believe, I actually put out a mandate, if you will, if there's ever such a thing anymore, that our departments start to explore the use of AI in their department. I was shocked, and I shouldn't be, at how many of our departments were already employing some form of artificial intelligence. I was shocked. But recently I attended an industry trade show, and every vendor there was in some way talking about the artificial intelligence that they had embedded in their product. So I think that, you're talking about an industry now, it's just going to grow. We'll get smarter. I mean, those things are above my pay grade. My assumption is artificial intelligence will get smarter. It's machine learning, and we'll all be better off for it.
Mm-hmm. Joe, I know you've written about this. I wanted to ask you about this kind of out of left field. Is there any risk of, losing the importance of human capital through all this as AI progresses?
Yeah, I mean, certainly in the music industry, I think it's important to recognize the human contribution to any kind of creation. We have situations now where you have collaborations between, artists that have never met each other, and
That's right.
it's a generative music, AI creating generative music that was not properly copyrighted, that was trained on models that didn't consider, copyright and the proper use of it. And so I think what you see is there's a technology that is advancing, but it has to be used ethically. So I have no problem if you want to train a model on properly licensed content, and if the content creators are on board with that, great. You had the Beatles announced where they took some of their old masters and used AI just to clean it up a bit. It wasn't used to create new content, but really just to help enhance some of those old masters that they had, and that's a perfect use of AI as a tool.
Well, that to me, Joe, is amazing, because what that did was basically took a John Lennon vocal from a piano and separated it in order for them to complete the song, which was amazing. And what a gift that was. But there, you're almost getting the human capacity from the machine, because you would have never had a Beatles single ever again, right, if we didn't have that technology.
Well, I think that's right. Yeah, again, it's assisting humans in their creative endeavors.
Right. Let's talk about Prager Metis again. You're using AI internally. How so?
Well, in auditing, in data capture and analytics, just as an example, but also on tax planning, in tax research, So there's almost every area of our firm is now exploring and looking at tools that make the job more efficient. Or, I don't want to say it speeds the job up, because you still need, look, you talk about human element. You can't just take something because it comes out of a machine and accept it.
Right.
In the old days, we used to do research out of big books, right? And we used to employ somebody that would update the books. And if those books weren't updated, you're getting bad information. So you talk about machine language and learning, and you don't know when that was recently updated, right? So you can't just assume that what comes out of a machine is accurate and timely. And frankly, you need a certain level of education and experience to be able to judge what comes out of that machine. So look, it's a tool. Will it go beyond a tool? I can't see that far into the future, and anything I say won't become a reality. But it's a fantastic tool. We've done things in record time that need to be cleaned up. You need to think about what's on that page. But it's powerful. I mean, Joe and I have, done some pretty amazing things out of artificial intelligence in seconds.
It's great. How about how should businesses be training employees at AI?
Yeah, I think you need to have training is key to it. I think you also starts with a usage policy. You have to have some broad parameters or guidelines in terms of how your employees and team members are going to be using AI ethically, responsibly. I think there needs to be an awareness of data security and privacy, that these models that you're training are training on your data. So you do not want to put any private, confidential, sensitive information in there.
Right.
I think transparency and explainability is important, so that whoever the output's going to understands what AI's role in that was. That it's not just simply pushing a button and AI is generating something, and it really needs human oversight. There has to be some output or double cross-checking that the content output is accurate and cross-referenced against authoritative sources.
Yeah, these are great words. Great education on this, guys. Prager Metis is always a firm with people of vision. They can help their clients with questions and implementation of AI. For more information and insights, people can go to pragermetis.com and check out all the services they provide. Glenn Friedman, Joe Rust, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much, Rob.
Thank you, Bob. Have a great day.